What is up, United Wesley? It is Pastor Jess here coming at you actually from the front of a friend of mine's wedding that's happening today. I hope you all had an incredible Halloween, that you stayed safe, but you enjoyed yourself, whether you stayed home with family, hung out with friends, or whatever you found yourself doing. I hope it was a good time and that you were doing well on this beautiful first day of November. As I said, I am currently about to go into a wedding, which I'm super excited about because weddings are beautiful and wonderful times. But I wanted to bring us a little devotion today because this week we're talking about newness. Most of you hopefully remembered that today we fell back, so you gained an extra hour of rest. We're going into a new season. For most of you, you're going through classes. Life is starting to ramp up yet again as we get ready for finals. There's only a few weeks left in the semester. And so I just want to take some time today to remind us of some of the words that God tells us. One of my favorite stories in the Bible is in Isaiah 43. And it's about God kind of declaring this statement in especially Isaiah 43:19. He says, "Behold, I'm about to do a new thing. It springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" And in this chapter, we have to kind of understand all that's happening in Isaiah. For 40 plus chapters, God has been talking about judgment and hardship and all of the inequities and the issues that the people of Israel have been a part of, or at least been kind of allowing to happen from their leadership down. God is calling them to do something better. He's reminding them of who he is, of his justice, of his faithfulness. And you just see this for 40 chapters being poured out. And all of a sudden in chapter 40, there's this new phrase where God says, "Comfort, oh comfort my people Israel." And as God starts to lay out this calling of comfort, reminding them that he is a just and God, but he is also a merciful and loving God. And he says, "I am here to comfort you, my people." And then in chapter 43, he says, "I was the one who rescued you out of Egypt." And he says this kind of in this beautiful poetic language that Isaiah uses. He says, "I'm the one who sent chariots down when he crashed the Red Sea on the Egyptians as they chased down the people." He says, "I am the one who rescued you from that land, and now I am doing a new thing." You see, God reminds the people that he is the one who saved them and rescued them in the past, but now he is bringing something else to the table. He is not just judging them and calling them into what they've been doing before, but he's actually doing something new. And we know that to be ultimately this call of Jesus to come, that he is sending his own son, God's very self, to come down and be the example, to be the path in the wilderness, to give drink to the thirsty, the one to give paths and a way for the lost and the seeking. You see, God says, "I am doing a new thing." And for us as Christians, we live into this newness. Every single day, we experience the gift of God's newness. With every morning as the sun rises, we're reminded that God's faithfulness is made new every morning, as it says in the Psalms, and that God is always at work in the world around us. So even in the midst of Isaiah, where we've been reading about judgment and hardship and punishment, and we've been seeing how the sins of the people have been causing disruption and injustice and pain for the Israelite people, God says, even in the midst of a season like that, a season that maybe some of us are feeling right now as the weight of schoolwork is crushing us, as there are so many problems happening in our society, from pandemics to racial injustices still happening everywhere. Maybe we feel a little bit like the people in this book of Isaiah, a little bit like the Israelite people, where we've been crushed and put down, but yet God is calling out saying, remember, I am doing a new thing. That the gift of Jesus that we have been given offers us new life and new creation each and every day. And so wherever you are today, wherever you're listening to this or hearing this, find some time. Think about the opportunity of newness that God is giving you. Even in the midst of dealing with the hardships and the reality of the past and where we're at, don't lose hope that God is doing something new. Whether that's enjoying a wedding or whether that's enjoying a conversation with a good friend or family, know that God is with you.